All right, so today we're going to be talking about how to build an email list as a producer. This is a video I've been wanting to cover honestly for a while on this channel, and then also sorry for being AFK for so long. I was going crazy with content on my other channel, and then family came over from Nigeria, so I've been like really swamped, and they're going to be here for like the next 13 days or something. But after that, we're going to be going even crazier. I'm still going to go back to going crazy on this channel. I'm hoping to start getting like at least 3 videos a week on here, consistent 2 to 3 on the other channel. But all that yap aside, this is what we're going to be talking about today. I'm really excited to get into it. I think you're going to get a lot of value out of this. And so the first main thing to talk about is that this is part of like a bigger system, right? Like the use of an email list and the use of email marketing fits into a bigger system. So I was talking about this on Threads the other day, and this post ended up getting a decent amount of engagement. And then I made another post talking about email marketing where I was basically just saying the email lists are the foundation of a producer business, and a producer executive named Lamont Graves kind of responded in agreement. And if you know anything about Lamont Graves, you know that if he says that you should do something and he tells you for free that you should do it, that you should definitely do it, because the guy knows what he's talking about. He's absolutely certified. And so I want to show you today how you can use this really powerful and underrated resource to really not just get sales, which you will be able to do. I've been able to get, consistent daily sales from my email marketing system, but also you'll be able to gain leads, you'll be able to grow your brand, and you'll be able to expand your network. It's a really powerful tool, and you'll be able to do everything that I can do with it, that I've been able to achieve with it, because I'm going to tell you exactly what to do and how to do it. And by the end of this, you'll be able to do the same, especially at the end where I'm going to show you exactly how I actually send my emails to producers and artists. So the first thing to understand is that you can't do anything until you understand the concept of a lead magnet. Now you can read this AI definition right here, and you can look up a definition if you really want to on various dictionary apps or on various search engines. You'll get some variation of a lead magnet being a free asset that you offer people in exchange for contact information, to where you can provide them with more value, whether that's free or paid value, right? It's a very simple concept. It's like free samples at Costco's or Sam's, basically. They give you a little taste and then you come back to get the rest of it. It's kind of like a single for an album. They give you a little taste, you come back to get the album later type shit. It's a very basic concept. Now, as to why you should even bother with lead magnets, there's a lot of reasons, right? But some of the main ones are that you're going to be able to build trust without having to outright sell something. You're going to be able to actually build your list. It's a very important aspect. It's probably the pivotal foundational part of actually building your list, because you can build a list through paid products. People who purchase your products also get on your list as well, but this is going to be a much more scalable, much more efficient, and much more trustworthy way to actually build your list in a scalable way that has magnitude. You're going to be able to exceed the amount of value that your competitors are giving those same people, right? So if your lead magnets, if your free products make people more excited, they give people more value than what your competitors are charging for, then when you actually charge for a product, it's going to be a no-brainer for those same people to purchase from you as opposed to your competitors, because you've already kind of provided that value. And this goes back to that concept that we've been talking about over the last few videos of how the more value you give people, the more money you're going to get, because that's basically what money is. It's a medium for value exchange, right? They get the value from you in the product or the service, and then you get the money. And then the other thing about lead magnets that's really cool is that you can actually test products and ideas without actually putting them for sale in the market, right? So if you have a lead magnet that bombs, the product related to that lead magnet will probably suck too, and that's a really good way that you can test ideas. So the whole point of this first topic that we're talking about here is that you want to use lead magnets to grow your lists. I meant lists, not leads. But you want to expand the amount of leads you have, which is basically what your list is, by using lead magnets. And it's really fucking easy if you don't suck, especially in the whole music producer space, right? So you just use free kits, free beats, or free information products, right? So let's go over a couple of examples really quickly. So right here, I have a free beat on YouTube on my main channel. And the really cool thing about these beats on my channel is that they still get me lead magnets until this day. I'm at the point now where I only post about 6 to 12 beats on my channel per year. And even even those still get me a lot of leads when I actually do post them. But the older beats get me leads every single day. And that's the power of actually using these lead magnets and putting them out there instead of just, you know, having like the front facing product be the very first thing that the consumer interacts with. But the video in and of itself is already a lead magnet, which we will talk about in the second point of this video in just a second. But what I really want to point out is that right here, the very first link of the description is going to be the actual place where they can download the beat for free and or purchase it. And if you go to TrackTrain, it's going to take you to a page where you can download the beat if you would like to kind of get that access to the free nonprofit version of the beat. And sometimes I will also offer free for-profit beats. It just depends on like what the positioning of the actual beat is, right? Another example from the perspective of marketing to producers could be this video, right? So in the very first link of the description, I have a place where they can join my list and also get 7 free kits. There's also a lot of other opportunities in the description for them to get free kits, especially this Flower Boy drum kit where they can get the demo. They can also purchase the full version, but they can get the demo. There's a lot of other free things that they can get access to in the description. And those are lead magnets that I'm using to build my list of producers. Whereas here, I'm using the beat as a lead magnet to build my list of artists, right? So the whole concept is that you're giving them a free sample and then you're inviting them to receive more value, both free and paid, by engaging deeper with you in exchange for that free thing and then in exchange for their contact information. But the key thing that you must understand is that it has to be free. Remember, Costco, Sam's Club, right? Like you don't go to Costco and they're like, all right, here's the free sample, but you got to give me a nickel, you got to give me a quarter. That would be insane, right? Like, I mean, some people will probably still get it, but it's going to be a lot less people. You're not going to see lines of people. You know what I'm saying? When you go to those stores, you be seeing people lined up. You be seeing some people that you know just by looking at them that they pulled up 60% to get some free samples, 40% to come buy what they actually came to buy, bro. Like, you know those people, you've seen them in these stores before, so it's very important. And then those people, a lot of those people will buy those products. So like an overwhelming amount of people will actually buy those products simply because they got to taste it, simply because they got to experience how nice that product actually is by getting that free sample. So it's really important to take advantage of the word free, of the concept free, and give them the thing for free to give them a taste of what you've got to offer. Here's an even more real-time example for you right now. Below in the description of this video, at the very first link of the description, you will find my producer brand launch bundle, which is 100% free. It comes with a checklist that will guide you on launching your brand as a producer and a 20-minute lesson on how to actually achieve each of those goals. And I'm not gonna lie, I could have charged you for this lesson. I could have charged real money for this lesson. People who have gone through it on my email list have told me, bro, like, I cannot believe you gave this to me for free. And that's the other thing about lead magnets. You don't want it to be some piece of shit. That's very important, right? Like at Sam's Club, they're not giving you like shitty stuff, right? At Costco, they're not giving you a shitty sample. They're giving you a really tasty sample so that you can actually see how dope the actual paid product is, right? It's the same deal here. This is a lead magnet for you to see how dope what I've got to offer you in terms of mentorship and instruction is. I want to give you something that I could have charged you for so you can see how dope it is, so that I can curate your interest in, say, my email list where I provide even more value like this for free, or, you know, paid products down the line. So it's really, really important. So if you want to learn about this entire concept we're talking about right now, as well as just have a really cool, you know, learning experience with me, go ahead and check that out in the first link of the description. Now, what we've learned so far is good, but none of it is going to matter unless you can actually get people on your list. And that's what we need to talk about next, right? So people have to actually see what you've got to offer. And the way you do that is with this concept that I lovingly refer to as the lead magnet cascade. And all this means is that everything in your product discography is a lead magnet to a higher level of value for the customer. It's basically like the sales funnel concept, but it's a little bit more graspable from the point of like a creative mind, because I like thought about it creatively when I was designing this concept. It wasn't so like robotic the way a lot of sales and marketing concepts tend to be. So let's go over another example, right? Here is a YouTube short, right? This is a short that I made about Tyler, the Creator's drum programming when he dropped Don't Tap That Glass, right? Now, this is obviously free. The consumer can watch it. They can get some free value. They're going to learn about drum programming from the perspective and style of Tyler's Don't Tap the Glass project. But, and I really like YouTube for this, I have a little button here where you can actually get more value. And I do have a call to action at the end of this video where
but how is bro pro like
I ask people, or I tell people, that they can get more value and more information by going to this video, which is linked right here. And I kind of ask them and encourage them to support the content, but also support themselves by learning more about this if they're interested in it. And it seems like a decent amount of people were interested in it, about 50,000 people so far, and that's probably going to increase over time. But then they click that, and that's a lead magnet, right? The short is a lead magnet to the long form content, and this is still free, right? They're still getting free value. And then this video goes in depth more about talking not just about the drum programming, but about the melody and the mixing and things of that nature. And then some percentage of these 21,000 people are then going to be promoted to check out another free lead magnet, right? So there's my Flower Boy drum kit, which I promote about 30 to 40 seconds into the video, and I actually do not promote the full version. I promote the demo version, which is linked right here. I do also promote my 7-kit bundle at some point in the video as well, but the one I want to focus on right now is the Flower Boy drum kit. And when you click that, it takes you to a page, a very simple page where you enter your email because it's an exchange of contact information for free value, and then they get access to the kit, right? And the really cool thing is that they're automatically added to my list when they enter their email, and they get the kit through an email, which adds them to my list through my system, right? But then the really cool thing is that when they hit submit on that page, they actually get an opportunity to purchase the full kit at a discounted price. So I'm immediately taking them from, you know, free value in the short to more free value in the long form to more free value for the free demo to finally, you know, kind of offering them some paid value if they're interested in like a deeper experience with me or with my product discography. And then the really cool thing is, again, they're added to my list where I can provide more value in the form of, say, marketing tips and tricks for music producers, melody tips and tricks, drum programming tips and tricks, mixing secrets and cheat codes. And then every once in a while, as we'll talk about in a little bit, I can also outright promote things. Like I can come back at another time and say, hey, you didn't get the kit for 30% off, but today it's 20% off, so you can check it out here. And that will just be an outright sale, and it'll be completely fine within the context of all the value that I'm providing on the list, again, which we will talk about in just a moment. So that's basically how the lead magnet cascade works. And again, it is basically just the sales funnel concept. So if you do want to learn more explicitly about how I use sales funnels as a music producer, do consider checking out my producer brand launch guide. It'll be linked in the description below. And not only does it come with my full over 5,000 word guide on how to execute on everything we're talking about, it gives you access to my how to start selling beats and kits in 30 days course, which is 4 hours of raw information on exactly how to build an email and funnel system that works for you on autopilot. Like you'll get sales in your sleep type shit. So it's really cool. Check it out in the description below if you are interested. And now we get into the nitty gritty. This is the real sauce, bro. So I feel bad for anybody who clicked off this video before getting here, because this is really where you can get sales every single day if you understand how to use this, bro. And the first thing is that you need to understand your funnel is half dead unless you follow up. If you never follow up with the people who join your list, like literally what was the point of having them join your list? That's the whole, like, if as long as you understand that, like, you pretty much can't lose. But in order to take advantage of actually following up with those people, you have to understand what your follow-up funnel is. And your follow-up funnel is an opportunity to build rapport and trust with the people on your list by introducing your personality, which is very important. That's what they're actually going to connect with, and then providing value. It's the value plus the personality that really makes people connect with you, what you're talking about, your topics, and your products. And then you can do all of that while subtly inserting your products, right? While you're providing value, if there's an opportunity to mention one of your products, that's just natural. You can also do that. And then you can do that without actually having to do an outright sale. And that's what's really cool about using email marketing, right? So I found that the golden ratio for email marketing is to send 3 to 4 emails of value for every one outright promotion that you do. So one email might be about how to mix better for artists, and then you might do another one about how to find the right engineer. You might do another one about how to book shows, and then you might do one where it's like, okay, here's a bundle of like 50 beats for, I don't know, $150 or something like that. Probably I would do less beats, probably like 30 beats for like $200 or something like that. It doesn't matter, right? But the point is that you would be doing some kind of outright sale or promotion. And the important thing to keep in mind is that you can still mention your products in the in the emails that are about the value, that are more focused on giving the value, but it's just that the actual goal of that email is more so just providing that value and not outright selling. The reason it's important to make these distinctions is to demonstrate to you that it's not bad to sell outright. It's just that you have to, again, contextualize that outright promotion within value that you're providing for your consumer, for your client, for your lead, so on and so forth. Things of that nature. So let's go over a few more examples, right? So here's an example of an email that I sent to artists a while ago. I thought this was a really good example. I send emails to artists like 3 or 4 times a week, but I thought this was a really good example because of how well it demonstrates providing the value while also subtly linking other products. So I'm not going to read this to you, but you can kind of stop and read as I'm like scrolling through it. The thing that I want to make note of is that the actual value, the point of this email is telling them about Sync Publishing, is telling them about an opportunity that's actually going to help them grow. And this is very valuable to them. But then I also have the opportunity to link to other things, whether it's a message I sent the other day, which then has links to other products and stuff like that. Again, that was a message about value as well. I also have the opportunity to talk about my beats. I have the opportunity to talk about other things that I have to offer in terms of services, whether it's AR mixing. I don't do mixing anymore, and I can't remember exactly what this links to, but I remember it wasn't beats because I had already linked to the beats here and in one other place. So the actual like bottom of the email CTA was about something else, and I think it was like a bundle or something that I don't sell anymore that included like an AR service and things of that nature. But as you can see, this email is full of value, bro. It's full of actual stuff that I had to research, actual stuff that I'm doing in my own career, actual things that I'm doing with other artists, and I'm taking all of that and I'm imparting that value while also inserting my personality into it, inserting my experience into it. So that's what makes it valuable, and that's what allows me to contextualize my promotions in a better light, right? Instead of being someone that's only sending sales and only sending promotions, I'm someone who's sending promotions to people that he also provides a lot of value for. And that context is the key to actually leveraging your list, getting people to engage with it, whether it's value or a promotion. And then remember, you've got to do this consistently. So here's another example, but this time for producers, right? So this email is just how to make money from beats without artists, right? So this is actually a blog post that I made, and it's just pure value. And so the way I do it is I started off by just introducing the blog post, and then I give them an opportunity to click into reading the rest of the newsletter, right? And so the rest of the newsletter is here. And this gives me an opportunity to not only extend the amount of value that I provide for them, but it also allows me to subtly link to other products without doing an outright sale. It's really cool because your newsletters especially can kind of act as miniature sales letters almost. They kind of sell for you on autopilot while you're in your sleep when you set them up correctly. They provide a ton of value also on autopilot. So it grows your brand, it grows the trust, and it continues to build rapport without you having to keep an eye and actually be actively present all the time. It's promoting my track train affiliate link. It's promoting my kits. I don't even know what this is actually. I think this might be like an information product. It's promoting my kits by being on my blog website. It's promoting the YouTube video that's linked to this newsletter, right? While providing all that value. So if it's someone that prefers to read as opposed to watching the video, then they're getting that value in that format. And then here's just one more example of value provision on my producer list, where a lot of times it's just me giving sauce. And again, sometimes it doesn't have anything to do with me at all, right? I've got a producer homie named Piku, who's actually in my mentorship group, which you can learn more about in the description below. And he dropped a really fire kit. Piku's one of the most talented, if not the most talented sample maker I've ever come across, and he be dropping fire, and I would love to share that with my list. And that's a really creative and cool way that you can actually build trust with your list by showing them I'm not only here to talk about my own stuff, I'm here to put you on game no matter what it is, right? And not only did Piku drop this free kit, making it really easy for me to provide value to my list, but he also made a video on his channel showing how he made some of the loops in this kit, which again is going to provide value to my list, but then he's also providing value to his consumers and building his own list through this product. So it's kind of like a feedback loop at this point. He's helping me build trust, and then I'm kind of low-key helping him grow his list and build trust in his product discography type shit. And that's kind of the mindset you want to take to it. Of course, you're going to make money when you provide value. That's the flow of shit, especially if you know how to, I don't know, set up sales funnels and use marketing and establish branding. Like, it's really not that hard. The point is like actually executing on the system and not being afraid to sell shit. The important thing is the context in which you sell, and the context has to be within value provision. As long as the context is value provision in your selling, you're going to make money. It's really not that hard. Then you just have to actually systematize what you're doing, and that's where the email marketing comes in. That's where the sales funnels come in. And the payoff to it all is that you're going to actually make that money. You're going to make the money on autopilot. You're going to make the money on a consistent basis. But not only that, you're going to grow your network. You're going to build trust with people. You're going to provide value, and you're going to build something meaningful that people actually connect with. So if you want to learn more about this, connect with like-minded producers and ask us questions, consider joining my free mentorship Discord, where we talk about music production and also random things like anime. So I'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Peace.